Number 1. Regularity. And here's the myth to kill first. That good sleep is about how much you get. It isn't. A study of over 60,000 people found something surprising. How consistently you sleep predicted how long you'd live, even better than how long you slept. The most regular sleepers had up to a 48% lower risk of dying in the years that followed. Not from sleeping more, just from sleeping on schedule. Here's the mechanic. Your body runs on an internal clock, and that clock craves rhythm. Go to bed and wake up at the same time every day, your wake time especially, and it releases the right hormones at the right moments, priming you for sleep before you even lie down. Break the rhythm, and it never quite knows when to fire. So, pick one wake-up time you can hold 7 days a week. And this is where it hits you. Sleeping in for hours on the weekend feels like recovery, but to your body, it's like flying to a new time zone every Saturday and flying back Monday. The same biological jet lag. That's why you spend the first half of every week foggy and dragging and blame it on the wrong thing. But even perfect timing falls apart if you get the next one wrong, and it's the signal your body trusts more than any clock. Number 2. Light. And you probably think you get enough of it. You almost certainly don't. Here's the mechanic. Your brain decides when to feel awake and when to feel sleepy, almost entirely from light hitting your eyes. Light is the master switch, and the amounts are wildly lopsided. A bright indoor room is only about 100 lux. A cloudy morning outside is 10 times that. Direct sun, hundreds of times more. So, sitting under your ceiling lights all day is, to your brain, closer to dusk than daytime. The fix has 2 halves. In the morning, get real light early. 10 or 15 minutes outside does more than an hour indoors ever could. And it starts the timer that makes you sleepy about 16 hours later. At night, do the opposite. Dim everything, because ordinary lamps and screens are bright enough to suppress melatonin, the hormone that signals sleep. And here's what it costs you. When you skip morning light and then bathe in screens all evening, your brain never gets a clear signal that the day began or ended. So it leaves you wired at midnight and groggy at dawn, the exact opposite of what you want, on repeat. Get light right and you're halfway home. But there's a silent saboteur most people never think to check, and it's the one thing in your bedroom you can measure. Number 3. Temperature. Your bedroom is almost certainly too warm, and it's silently sabotaging your deepest sleep. Here's the mechanic. To fall asleep, your body actually has to cool down. Its core temperature needs to drop about 1 degree, and that drop is part of the trigger for sleep itself. A warm room physically blocks it. Sleep scientists point to around 18 degrees Celsius, the mid-60s Fahrenheit, cool enough that it feels almost too cool while you're awake. That's the point. It's the same reason a warm bath helps, not because it heats you up, but because stepping out makes your temperature fall, mimicking the exact signal sleep is waiting for. And oddly, warm socks help too. They pull heat to your feet so your core can cool. And here's the consequence most people miss. If the room's too warm, you won't necessarily lie awake. You'll fall asleep, then surface again at 2 or 3 in the morning, kick off the covers, and never drop back into the deep stages. 8 hours in bed, and you still wake up unrefreshed. Cool room? Sorted. Now for 2 things you might be putting into your body that quietly undo everything you just fixed. Number 4. Chemistry. 2 things you might be putting in your body are quietly undoing everything else, and one of them, you probably think, helps. Start with caffeine. Here's the mechanic. It has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours, and it works by blocking adenosine, the chemical that builds up all day to create sleep pressure, that heavy, drowsy feeling. Caffeine doesn't remove your tiredness, it just hides it. So that afternoon coffee is still half in your system near midnight, quietly holding the door shut on sleep. The fix is simple: a caffeine cut-off by early afternoon. Now the sneaky one, alcohol. It feels like it helps. It makes you drowsy, so we call it a nightcap. But as your body breaks it down, it fragments the second half of your night and suppresses REM, the stage tied to memory and mood. And that's the consequence. You can sleep a full 8 hours after a few drinks and still wake up foggy, flat and low. It sedates you. It doesn't rest you. Handle those and you're close. But there's one last thing, and it's the one almost everyone gets wrong, especially if you're the ambitious, hard-working type this video is really for. Number 5. The wind down. This is that one, the one almost everyone fails. And the myth behind it is that you can simply decide to fall asleep. You can't. Here's the mechanic. When you sprint at full mental speed right up to the moment you lie down, your body is still flooded with the stress signals that keep you alert. Your nervous system is locked in go mode. And you cannot force it into rest just by lying still and closing your eyes. Sleep isn't a switch, it's a landing. It needs a runway. So build a buffer, 20 or 30 minutes between the day and the bed. No work, no bright screens, just something calm and dim. And if your mind keeps circling tomorrow's to-do list, keep a notepad by the bed and dump it onto paper. It tells your brain the thoughts are safe to let go of. Skip that runway, and here's what happens. You lie there, exhausted but wired, mind racing, watching the clock. And then you blame yourself for not being able to sleep, when really you just never gave your body permission to land. So there they are. 5 things: regularity, light, temperature, chemistry, and the wind down. Fix the weakest one first. And stop treating sleep as the enemy of a good life. It's the opposite. Everything you're chasing is built while you sleep, not in spite of it. Rest was never in your way. It's the foundation. If that hit home, there's another one right here you'll want to see next.